Hi, I'm Diva from Musical Hell, and I know the score. Way back in the earlier days of this channel, I did a list of my top 5 opening numbers. This is not a revision of that list, but more like an addendum to it. Some of the songs weren't around when I made the first one, and others just didn't get a mention because I didn't have enough time. But because I love a great show opener, I want to spend some more time on the subject. So here's another top 5 opening numbers.
Let's go on with the show! Let's go on with the show!
Number 5. Comedy Tonight from A Funny Thing Happened on the Way to the Forum. If you need proof that the right opening number can make all the difference in a musical, look no further than one of Stephen Sondheim's earliest solo efforts. Forum originally opened with a light little soft shoe piece called Love is in the Air.
Love is in the air, quite clearly, people everywhere act queerly. Some are hasty, some are halting, some are simply somersaulting.
Not a bad song by any means, but it hardly set the mood for the madcap farce that followed. Sondheim went back to the drawing board and came up with this rollicking number that lets the audience know exactly what they're in for. No weighty tragedy or deep insights on the human condition, just fun and laughs, and lots of them.
No royal curse, no Trojan horse, and there's a happy ending, of course.
I feel like a lot of people tend to overlook Forum because it's not as nuanced musically or dramatically as Sondheim's great masterworks. It's just a straightforward, fun musical comedy. But sometimes we all need a little comedy tonight.
On with the show!
Number 4. Road to Hell from Hadestown. Never mind opening numbers, how's this for an opening riff? Right out of the gate, Anais Mitchell's folk rock retelling of the Orpheus myth gives the vibe of being in a smoky New Orleans blues club. It's a great musical language for storytelling and is a perfect fit for the introduction of the narrative backdrop and the characters. If you're not a Greek myth nerd, Road to Hell is a toe-tapping crash course in everything you'll need to know for the show to come. And for those who know how the story goes, it's a clever and refreshing take on an old favorite. After all, the best stories are the ones worth retelling, even, or especially, if it doesn't turn out well.
On with the show!
Number 3. Prologue from Natasha, Pierre, and the Great Comet of 1812. Necessity is often the mother of invention. The earliest performances of Great Comet opened with Pierre's moody existential crisis aria. Again, a great piece, but one that doesn't exactly draw the audience into the story.
The zest of life has vanished, only the skeleton remains unexpectedly vile. I used to be better, I used to be better, I used to be better.
In fact, the audience was just plain confused. Who are all these people anyway? Why do half of them call the female lead Natasha and the other half Natalie? Just what is going on here? Dave Malloy responded by providing a clear, if somewhat cheeky, primer for the story to follow.
Cause it's a complicated Russian novel. Everyone's got 9 different names. So look it up in your program. We appreciate it, thanks a lot. Da-da-da, da-da-da, da-da-da.
This War and Peace for Dummies, with its cumulative chorus and subtly intricate instrumental counterpoints, is just what's needed to get you into the anachronistic melodrama that ensues. especially when it's performed by a fourth wall breaking cast accompanying themselves on their own instruments.
On with the show.
Number 2, Tradition from Fiddler on the Roof. The story goes that when Jerry Bach and Sheldon Harnick were trying to figure out how to kick off their adaptation of Sholem Aleichem's Tevye stories, they were asked to summarize their musical in a single word.
Tradition!
The implicit weight of the word itself, emphasized by the regular heavy beat of the song, conveys so much about the Jewish shtetl of Anatevka. The deep value placed on their culture and social order, the importance of being able to rely on your community and your established role in it in a world where so many view you as an outsider. The traditional existence in Fiddler on the Roof is shaken in many ways: youthful rebellion, shifting political dynamics, systemic racism, and violence. But it's also what gives Tevye and those around him the strength and faith to endure in a changing and hostile world, a way to survive even in the most unfavorable of odds. And now, some honorable mentions.
Welcome to the rack if you come from away. You probably understand about a half of what we say.
Morning in Paris, the city awakes to the bells of Notre Dame. The fisherman fishes, the bakerman bakes to the bells of Notre Dame.
They're the perfect loving family, so adoring, and I love them every day of every week.
Come on, babe, why don't we paint the town and all that jazz? On with the show.
And number 1, Alexander Hamilton from Hamilton. So yeah, it should be obvious by now that I love opening numbers that build up anticipation, whether it's by immersing us in the background of the story or expounding on the reputation of a main character. The opening song to Hamilton does both, but even more than that, it stands as proof of concept for the show itself. Lin-Manuel Miranda knew early on that The Founding Fathers, but make it rap, was not exactly an easy sell.
You laugh, but it's true.
If Hamilton's opening number didn't land, the audience would never buy into what followed. But the captivating rhythm and imagery of the lyrics, the classic rising from humble beginnings story, and the swelling anticipation of the music make you hungry for what comes next, even though you know exactly how it will end.
And me, I'm the damn fool that shot him.
And that's expert storytelling in a nutshell. I'm Diva, I know the score, and now, so do you.
Alexander